I had just turned 18, still a young woman in so many respects, still terrified by the darkness, and now a wife, yet not of my own free will. My stepmother had pushed me into this union. After my mother passed away, she married my father. He left us when I was 16, and from that day forward, I became her responsibility. I scrubbed floors, prepared meals, did laundry, and followed every order. And when I reached 18, she announced that I was getting married. "Be grateful," she told me. "He is wealthy, you will never face hunger." I did not learn his name until 2 days before the ceremony. I did not see his face until the night before. And on our wedding night, while I was still dizzy from the noise and scents, he entered the bedroom, locked the door, looked at me with icy eyes, and commanded, "Remove your clothes." I froze. He was not shouting, but his voice held no warmth, no feeling, only a demand. I sat on the bed, my heart pounding like a drum inside my chest. I held myself tight. I wanted to weep, but the tears stayed trapped. He let out a heavy sigh and turned away. "I will sleep on the couch," he said, "but tomorrow you must act like a proper wife." And just like that, he lay down far from me and switched off the light. I did not sleep that night. I stared at the ceiling, my hands clutching the fabric of my bridal gown. I felt chilled, hollow, as if something vital had been taken from me, my youth, my freedom, my voice. His name was Zane. He was 29, a successful businessman. My stepmother said he wanted a simple, obedient girl from a quiet American town, someone who would not question him. That is why she gave him me. He did not touch me, not on the first night, not on the second, not for a whole week. But he did not speak to me either. He came home late, ate in silence, and slept on the sofa. Sometimes he would glance at me with tired eyes, but never with warmth. I felt unseen. And yet I was expected to serve him, cook for him, wash his clothes, clean the house, be a wife. But I did not feel like a wife. I felt like a captive. One night I was cleaning the kitchen when I accidentally dropped a glass. It shattered on the floor, cutting my finger. I gasped and blood began to drip. I tried to hide it. I was used to hiding pain, but he walked in just then. He saw the blood and came forward. "What happened?" he asked, for the first time. Like a real person, I broke a glass. "I am sorry." He looked at my shaking hands, then at my face. He saw the tears I was trying to hold back. "You are hurt," I nodded. He gently took my hand and wrapped a cloth around it. I looked at him, confused. Why was he helping me now? "You should be careful," he said softly. "You can sit, I will clean it." That moment broke something inside me, not because he was kind, but because it was the first time anyone had treated me like I mattered in years. The next morning, I found a first aid kit on the table. Beside it was a small packet of chocolate and a note, "For the young woman who bleeds in silence." It was not signed, but I knew it was from him, and for the first time in many weeks, I smiled. One rainy evening, the power went out. I lit a candle and made tea. He came home soaked and exhausted. I gave him a towel and a cup. "You did not have to," he said. "I wanted to," I replied. He looked at me for a long moment, then he spoke. "My mother was like you," he said, quiet, always afraid. "My father used to hit her. I used to hide under the table and listen to her cry." I looked at him shocked. "She died when I was 15. My uncle raised me. He taught me to be strong, to never let feelings in. That is why I sometimes do not know how to be gentle." My eyes filled with tears. "You are not cruel," I whispered. He looked away. "I thought marrying a reserved girl would make things easier. But maybe I was wrong. You do not deserve to be scared." He started eating breakfast with me. He started asking how my day was. He started buying me books. Because I once told him I loved reading but never had time, he never touched me without asking. He always knocked before entering the room. He still slept on the sofa. But one night he asked, "Can I sit here?" I nodded. He sat at the edge of the bed. "Are you still afraid of me?" he asked. I looked down. "Not as much," I said quietly. He smiled. "That is a start." 2 months passed. One day I told him everything, about my stepmother, about how I begged not to marry, about how I cried the whole wedding night, about how I felt like I had lost my voice. He did not interrupt me, he just listened. And when I finished, he said, "You did not lose your voice. It was stolen, but I will help you find it again." It was a cold night. I was coughing, my fever rising. He stayed by my side all night. At one point I woke up crying. I do not know why. Maybe it was the fever, maybe it was the years of silence. He gently held me. It was the first time he hugged me, not to demand anything, not to control me, just to hold me. 3 months into our marriage, he came into the room. He did not say, "Remove your clothes." He said, "Can I sit with you?" I nodded. He looked nervous. "I love you," he whispered. "But I will never touch you unless you love me too." I stared at him, and suddenly all the fear, pain, and silence faded, because now I saw a man, a broken man, a healing man, a gentle man. I reached for his hand. "I am ready," I said, not because I was forced, but because I wanted to. That night I gave myself to him, not as a duty, but as a choice. Now I am 21, we have a modest home. A garden, I write books now, I tell stories of girls like me. He still makes me tea every night, and sometimes I still cry, but not from fear, from joy, from healing, from love.